everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I thought I would show you all of my camera equipment that I use as being a wedding photographer. So first, to start out, I am shooting this video on my Canon M5 mirrorless camera, and I absolutely love this camera. I've traveled Europe with it. It is awesome. The lens I am using is a 15 to 45, and it works. I just use it for videos for the most part. But yeah, it's an awesome camera. So behind me is kind of where I keep all of my camera equipment. So we can start out with the cameras that I use currently, and then I'll get into like the older cameras that I've collected. So first, to start out, my normal like everyday camera, like if I'm just going to go and shoot like an engagement session, I always am using this guy. So this is my 5D Mark IV. The lens I have on there right now is my 24 to 105. I like this lens. It's like a good like basic lens. I hopefully will get something a little different down the road, but for right now I really like it. The photos come out really clear and nice and beautiful. So as for this camera body, I love it. It's kind of big and heavy, like if you're not used to shooting with cameras. But the best part about this camera is that you can have 2 memory cards. So let's say you're shooting a wedding and one of your memory cards craps out, which does happen, but let's say one of your memory cards craps out, then you have a backup one, which is so nice, literally a lifesaver. So after my like normal everyday camera, I have a second camera body that I bring with me to like weddings or use as like a backup, and this is the one I normally travel with, like if I'm doing something not for like weddings or for my business, but I still want a nice camera. So this is my Canon 6D Mark II. I love that the screen flips out and you can like close it. So this is why I normally travel with it, is because the screen closes, and I've had a screen break from like traveling and like being in a bag and just like moving around a lot. So this is the one I normally travel with, but when I'm like shooting weddings, I'll have this one on one shoulder, my 5D on my other shoulder, and I'll have different lenses on them so I can quickly like go back and forth. The only difference about this one is that you don't have the second memory card slot, which is kind of a problem for like weddings, but I usually get both shots with both lenses to get like a different look, so I don't miss out on something. I just, eventually down the road I'll get another 5D, but for now this does the job. The 5D, so if you're looking for a nice camera but don't necessarily need to pay for the 5D, this is a good one. The lens that I normally have attached to my 6D for weddings is my Sigma lens, and this is the, let me get the right name for you. This is the 50 1.4 Sigma lens. This is awesome. I love this lens so much. Everything comes out so beautiful, and like it's really awesome lighting. The only downside to this lens is it's like really heavy. Because it is made out of metal, like Sigma lenses are just heavier, but they are awesome, and they are a cheaper version than buying the Canon version of this. Obviously, like I love Canon, but I love that I can buy another brand and it still fits on my camera, so it's a really good option. And the last lens that I have for those camera bodies is my 35. So I like this lens. I like the idea of this lens. I love like the wider angle. I can get more of like a landscape shot with like the couple. I still think it turns out really nice. I'm just not, this is not my favorite lens. I don't always use it. I wish I used it more. I will probably switch it out for the Sigma. This is like a great starter lens. I just want a lower f-stop, to be honest. And the Sigma one has a really awesome option, so I will probably eventually sell this one and get the Sigma one. So I don't really use flash or like a speed light very often, but I do have one, and it's awesome. This is the Canon Speedlight 470EX AI, and it is so awesome. This is like the coolest speedlight I have ever seen. You literally just push this button on the back and it adjusts all the lighting and gets it set perfectly so you don't have to do it. So it is really cool. I love this flash. So now switching into the lenses that I have for my mirrorless camera. So kind of to like back up, I started shooting with my mirrorless camera in the beginning and then switched to the 6D, and then I got the 5D. So I've kind of slowly gotten like nicer equipment, but I didn't really know that my photography was going to turn into anything, and the mirrorless camera was awesome when I was living in Europe for 6 months. So the lens that I have for my mirrorless camera, as I mentioned, I have the 15 to 45 on the camera right now, and then I also have the 18 to 150. This lens is so awesome. It's just kind of big when you're like traveling and you have a small camera. It kind of just like sticks out far, but it is such an awesome lens. I love this lens. And then this was kind of like just a fun one that I saw online and I ordered. I really don't use it that often, but it does get some like cool shots on this camera. And this is my Canon 22, and it is a macro lens. I don't really use it that often, but it's fun. It was pretty cheap and affordable, so it's fun for me to like play around with. Now switching to kind of like the older cameras that I have that I'm like absolutely obsessed with, but I never have time to really play around with. So that's kind of like my goal for this summer, is to play around with those cameras more. So to start out, we have the Polaroid land camera, super color autofocus 3500. So this is a Polaroid camera. It works. I got it at a thrift store probably for like $5. Like, it was really cheap. They didn't know if it worked, but it does, and it's so fun, and I love using it. I just really do not use it that often, but it's in awesome condition. I don't know if you can tell, like literally the strap has not even been undone, and I like have not undone it yet either, but I've used it, trust me. It is really fun. Okay, so my next camera, I love this one. I definitely run into some difficulties with this camera just because it honestly jams kind of often, but it's so fun. Film cameras and film photos are so much fun, and I absolutely love using it. But this is my Minolta Srt 201, and I got the body at a, I don't know if you'd call it a thrift store. It was kind of like a Goodwill, but they had like a little thrift store section of like old stuff like this, and the guy was like, I have no idea if it works, but I'll sell it to you for $30. And I was like, if it doesn't work, awesome decoration. So I bought it. And then I had to go out and get a lens for it. So this is the 50mm lens, and it's so fun. I literally love this camera so much. It's, oh, hi, yes. Do you like this camera too? So yeah, and then once I go through the film in here, I just bring it to the local shop and they develop it for me. I do not know how to develop film on my own. I kind of understand like the gist of it, but that would be something really fun to learn. But yeah, I love this camera. I'm going to try and start using this more, maybe bring it with me when I travel. Okay, and then my last old camera that I have is actually a video camera. This was such a fun find for me. I actually found this at a thrift store in Iowa, and this is a Super 8 video camera, and it works. So I ordered film for it, and it was actually really cool. There was film already inside here when I got it, so I have old film that I can get developed. It is just kind of expensive, but I ordered film from Canon. This is not the right lens, but yeah. I ordered film from Canon, and so I'm hoping to use this on maybe one of my next trips. I have yet to use it, but I have like tested it and make sure that it works. So now moving on to the different random equipment that I have. Starting off with my camera bag. This is the, what are you? Okay, so this is the Peak Design bag. And it's so awesome. You can like open it up and put cameras in here, and then it's really awesome because both sides zip open, and then you can kind of like adjust how you want these different sections to go. So I can fit all of this equipment behind me, not this stuff, but like my actual everyday camera equipment, I can fit in here, and that is what I bring to weddings. And then it also has like some awesome zippers up here, so you can put like batteries and memory cards and all that fun stuff. Okay, so another random item that I have is the GoPro. I honestly do not know which one this is, but it's like the little cube one, and I use this to film my Europe videos, and this orange thing on it is a little floaty device, so if like you drop it in water, it will float. But yeah, this is just like fun. I use this in Europe to film, but now I just use it if I'm traveling to like a beach or something and we want to do like underwater stuff. So I bring this. I really do not use this like at all anymore. Okay, and then as for some other like random equipment, this is my, I don't even know what the right term is for this. Oh, my battery grip. So this is my battery grip. This goes on my Canon 6D. I do not have one for my 5D yet, but it is awesome. You can fit 2 batteries in here, and that way you don't have to worry about like your camera dying or having to switch batteries like in the middle of a wedding or whatever. So yeah, this is really awesome. It just attaches to the bottom of the camera. And then, so this is my memory card transfer that I use, and I got this one for Apple. So I have learned the hard way that if you do not spend good money on these, they will crap out and your photos, it will just be a disaster. So I decided to go with the Apple one. So far, so good. Where I just got this on Amazon. This is where I keep my memory cards. And you just put them in there and just make sure you don't lose them. I have like lots of different types of memory cards, but honestly, I prefer to get the 256 gigabytes. That way I don't have to worry about running out of memory like in the middle of a wedding or whatever, and then I forget which memory card it's on. It's just easier to have a bigger memory card. Okay, so I think that is everything. I probably forgot something, as always. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning about all of my equipment. I'm sure I will add some new stuff as I go. I'm always looking at new camera things. A few things that I'm looking to get is the, like I mentioned, the 35 Sigma. And then I also really want to get a drone. I think that would be so fun, especially since I have some really cool traveling coming up. So those are the next 2 things on my list. But yeah, other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.